Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to sort of take you on a tour or a trawl through business and government websites. Now, in Australia, an increasing number of websites, again, whether it be government or business, an increasing number of websites have white people in the minority. So in a country that we're told has 65% white people make up on average 20% of the people featured on website front pages. And you sort of have to wonder why. So is that the new international standard? Is it the standard that we now have come to expect or should expect or have to live with? Now, the typical mix is, as per the thumbnail, is one white person who often is female, or if a male, very gay or soy, and then a black person, females, like out of 5, 3 will be women, but a black person, what looks like Chinese, Filipino, and someone from the subcontinent. So that'll be the sort of the mix that typically you get. If there's 5 seems to be the happy number, but sometimes you get more. But the more people there are, then the more minorities they have. So whites will never be more than 20%, and typically is the total number of faces on the the front of the website. There's more people on there, the fewer number of white. If there's 11 people, then 2 of them will be white, and so on. So this seems to be how it's going now. A couple of years ago when I looked, there was the bigger multinational and bigger firms were doing it, especially the ones that were relying heavily on government contracts. But the smaller firms, the sort of the medium to large smaller firms that were out there competing in the marketplace, they may have one token black or brown person, but the rest will be white. That's fast changing, so that you will struggle actually amongst the larger firms. If you've got a smaller like company that sells furniture or something, and they're just in the local town or in the outer suburbs, they might have just white people, but the rest are for example, there's a company here, they're probably 200 kilometers outside of Sydney, and their website's all white people. But otherwise, white people are now minority in all websites that you come across, particularly in the city. Government departments, it's just how it is. Universities, you'd be forgiven for thinking maybe 10% of the population would be white, if that. So there's a very concerted and pointed effort to delete white people from Australian websites, at business websites or government websites. It's very determined, very pointed. Now they say it's to be inclusive, and it's to be non-racist and all this sort of thing. Well, if it's going to be non-racist and 60, the community we serve and all this, if it's meant to be non-racist, then 65% of the people should be white, and 2/3 of them should be male. So if that's what you want to have representing it, but it's not that at all. It's to write white people out of the history and out of their existence here. And all the board of directors, the senior executives that are approving and signing off on this, by the way, are all white. So we're destroying ourselves. And I've mentioned before, I don't think it's ever happened in human history that a society has been so determined and so focused on destroying itself. I just don't think that's ever happened. It's remarkable in anyone's language. So, well, if that's the standard, then if I go to look at websites in India or Korea or China or Japan or Indonesia or anywhere in Asia, then I'm going to find the same thing, that whites will be 50% or greater of the people in front of the website. Well, now, wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Trawling through the website, through Indian websites as an example, and these would be companies that would have a fair bit of international business, so they'd be doing business with white companies and with white people. I couldn't find, and I'm sure they're there somewhere, but I couldn't find a single white person on any Indian business or government website, not one. The tourist website, that was the only one, but outside of that, not one. So it's Indians, just no Chinese. There's no black Africans. There's nobody but Indians on the Indians business website. I mean, wow, why aren't our people, why aren't our governments and our politicians that scream about racism, that all these white people are all Hitler? Why aren't they having a good old go at the Indians and saying, you damn fucking fascist Nazis, you've got no white people, you've got no black people, you've got no Chinese or Asian people, you got no damn Eskimos, you got no black lesbians on your websites, you fucking fascist, racist Nazis. But no, only white people can be racist. Only white people are evil, fascist, bigots, racist Nazis. Now, if I go then to Japanese websites or Chinese websites, in fact, anywhere I go to look at websites, I can't find any white people. And if I go to Korean websites, I can only find Koreans. If I go to Japanese, only Japanese, and so on. Now, there are a few websites, like in Japan, they had some, it was like a chain of music stores or something, and they had some white musical musicians and singers and so on. But outside of that, I couldn't find a single white person. So what we've got is white countries only are writing their own white populations out of their own websites. I mean, just consider that for a minute. Just think about it. Now, if everyone in the world was doing it, if this equity and equality and we're not racist and we're not bigoted, if that was being applied and practiced all over the world at the same time, I guess, I wouldn't so much have a problem with that. Again, I've been traveling on business for many years and still do some traveling, and so I'm used to being the only white guy in the room or the restaurant or the hotel foyer or the shop or something like that, or the train, or whatever. I'm used to that. So I don't have a problem with the people being featured. But if in Australia we don't write white people out of the website front page and indeed other pages, then we're racist, fucking fascist, Nazi bigots. But then why aren't all the other people in Asia also racist, fucking Nazi, fascist bigots, if they don't have white people or black people or any other race in there? The Indian websites only have Indians. The Koreans website only have Koreans. The Japanese only Japanese. The Chinese had only Chinese. The Indonesians only Indonesians, and so on and so forth. So only white people are engaging in their own self-destruction. I mean, it's insane, for Christ's sakes, but there you go. But I invite you to do that. Have a little trawl around the websites, and this is in Australia, but have a look around in your country and just see to what extent white people have been wiped from the face of commerce and government services. It's an outrage, and our own white elected officials are presiding over this. Of course, they're all controlled by the globalists, and it's a globalist play. But again, I'm a bit of a history buff, and I can't think of any time in human history that any society or race of people has been so determined to destroy itself. Now, just moving quickly on to, I have a look at, I keep a close eye on art house movies, because they tend to lean quite a bit to the left. I mean, not all of them, I guess, but most of them lean quite a bit to the left, and they've got a very screaming lefty, lesbian type committee that gives the awards. So if there's a movie about black lesbians, it's going to get the award, no matter how crap it is. But just having a look at those, I saw a movie. Again, they're presenting a world that doesn't exist. It exists only in fantasy. There's no reality in which this sort of world exists. But so here's a movie about, this is in a white country where they've got about 15% non-white. So the government alleges. I think the government's playing down these all across the Western world. In Australia, for example, I think we've already passed the 50% mark. Whites are now but somewhere between 45 and 50% of the population is my guess. But the government's going to keep stum on that. But in this movie, the white people, especially the white men, are in caricature. They're all Nazis, fascist, Nazi, bigot, racist. They're fucking Hitler. That's it. Nothing else to it. And the morally superior people, the wise people, the sensible people, measured people, the urbane, the better educated people, the sophisticated people, Arabic and black. And the woman is black and probably a lesbian the way she's depicted. And she just is so morally superior to all these white people, particularly the white men. And she comes and she lectures them on their wicked, evil lack of morality, the fucking Nazis. But she is a good person, and she understands the goodness and the right from wrong that these evil white people just have no idea about. And she's so sophisticated in her understanding. I mean, she's got that look that she just swung out of the trees in the jungle in Africa, but that's beside the point. She's fucking sophisticated, way more sophisticated than any of the white people, and tells them so. And gives them a moral lecture. They are morally inferior to her. Simple as that. Then the Arabic, which is a man, and he knows right from wrong and good from bad, and he has to lecture the white people on that because the white people just don't understand that. The Arab guy does, as in real life. The Arabs are the ones that. Probably the only ones that understand good from bad, right from wrong, as black women from Africa, still their African accent, are the only ones in a position to morally lecture all the white people. This is just how it is in real life. So that movie's obviously made by a bunch of screaming lefties, and the money supplied to them through a series of fronts, including NGOs. For the sole purpose of manufacturing propaganda that's then pushed onto the population. Now the next movie is pretty much the same. There are 10 couples in this movie, and they're off on a wilderness hike, type thing, and every couple is a mixed race couple. Everyone. Now, if you're around, even and I've done videos on this, and even if you're around the most intensive migrant area where the white population would be lucky to be 10%, and the first tranche, if you like, of people who came to Australia from around Asia, so they're all. Anyone under the age of 23 or 24 is born in Australia, and yet they're the mixed race couples, whether it be dating or partners, whatever. The mixed race couples are 1 or 2% at best. The Indians even less than that, 0.5% maybe. So when this idea that the mixed race couples are everywhere, including mixed race gay and lesbian, again, it's just pure fantasy and couched and grounded in no reality whatsoever. I guess I don't mind because they're pushing the propaganda hard. I'd like a propaganda warning on movies. Say, look, we're pushing gay lesbian propaganda here. Then I wouldn't, fine. Then I've got a choice of whether or not I want to watch it, and it's declared as propaganda. But if it says the synopsis of the movie or the summary of the movie says it's going to be a great movie and it's got this or that actor or anything in it, and it's a story about such and such and thought-provoking themes, and so okay, well that could be interesting. I'll give that a go. But from sort of the first scene, you get the mixed race couple. There's the black guy's a multi-millionaire because he's a genius software inventor. Like there's lots of those. He's got the super hot white chick girlfriend, who's like the trophy wife sort of thing. And then you get the next guy. The guy's an asshole, but he's got this super morally superior Asian chick as his wife, and it just goes on and on, and so it's blatant propaganda being pushed at you. I've got a real problem with that. I'd like it to be declared. But that's my little run through on this. So you've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.